Why is activism important for introverts? I'm Kathy Bertolli from the IntimacyDojo.com, and I'm here with Yosinio Lewis, and you'll be speaking about activism for introverts at Woodhull Sexual Freedom Conference in about a month.
Yes.
Why did you choose that topic?
Basically because I am both an activist and an introvert. And there are many times when I get afraid to conduct myself in the ways of activism, but I feel compelled to do it. So I have to acknowledge that I'm an introvert, acknowledge that it's uncomfortable for me to be in the spotlight, but still do it.
Yeah.
Still be there and find a way to overcome my shyness and my fears, and just say the work that needs to be done is so much more important than me hiding behind, I don't want anybody to say or do anything that will embarrass me or make me feel bad.
Yeah, that's beautiful. What can you share one tip? Because some of the people watching this won't be able to come to your workshop.
Yeah, what I would say is there are times when you see an injustice happening and you really, really, really cannot just sit with it. And you can't ignore it. You can't pretend like it's not there.
We're getting a lot of practice with that right now.
We sure are. Because it's just so hard. It just hurts your heart so much. So you've got to do something. And then you also recognize, but I don't want all that limelight. I don't want people knowing my name. I don't want them coming to me and asking me for more guidance. I don't want all that. I just want to do something meaningful. And I'll share with you, one time I was at a conference and there was a very important person, a government official, who was at the conference doing keynote and talking about AIDS. And this was back in the late 90s, talking about AIDS and consistently saying lesbian and gay, lesbian and gay, lesbian and gay. Now the conference ostensibly was for LGBT, but B and T were being ignored and ignored and ignored. And I was slowly, more and more, the fuse was just about to explode. And I couldn't deal with it, and I just stood up. And I raised my hand in a fist. And the man never paid attention to me. He kept going. He finished his entire speech, sat down, and the MC for that moment was talking about announcements and what was next going to happen at the conference. And then she eventually turned to me and said, "Why are you standing up?" And I said, because someone has to stand up for all the bisexuals and transgender and intersex and other labeled people who also have AIDS and are also dying and are also struggling and can't even be recognized by this man. Of course, that's not how it came out. The way it came out was, well, because my voice was gone. Yeah. And I was scared, and it was crackling, and it was horrible. But I took that stand for myself and for others.
Why Woodhull?
Woodhull because Woodhull is a place where there's an opportunity for all of my intersections to meet.
Yeah.
And I'm able to really have that place where I can say, for me, it's all about autonomy. And autonomy, when you are taking your autonomy, when you are living your autonomy, you also have responsibilities. So part of my responsibility is, if I'm going to talk about how important it is for me to have the right to do what I want with my body, right, I also have to be in support of the sex workers to be able to have the right to do what they want with their body, as well as the person who is at the end of their life and wants to die with dignity. They have a right to do what they want with their life, as well as the person who wants to do all kinds of body modification that might scare the crap out of me.
Like, that sounds really painful. I don't want to do it,
but they have a right. And who am I to continue to support a rule or a law or an attitude that says you're bad or wrong if you do that?
Yeah.
There are so many body autonomy stories, and we touched on reproductive justice.
Oh, yeah.
But there's so many parts to body autonomy that need to be highlighted. I can't stay in my little silo. I've got to talk about the other ways that autonomy manifests, and I want to do that. Woodhull is a place where that can happen, where there's a recognition that your ability to do what you want with your body as long as you're not harming anyone else. Right. That is something that is fundamental to surviving in the world and thriving in the world. Woodhull gets that.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this. I can't wait for your talk.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below. We'll try to get back to you, and I will see you in a month.
Yes, you will.
Bye, everyone.